Let's start with the same warm-up routine as we did 2 days ago, which would be starting with the lunge. Let's start with the left foot this time, and bringing your feet enough apart so you kind of like start to automatically drop your weight. Keep your upper body nice in the middle, core tight, so you're not going anywhere, especially not forward. And then drop the weight until you feel a little bit of a stretch in here in the hip flexor area. Let's keep it there for a while. Just to get that front part nice and long. That's always the issue. The back side is with all these movements stretch more automatically when you lunge and when you do all these different squash type of movements, and then the front kind of like gets shorter and shorter, upper body as well. Okay, so we start leaning forward and bring your arms in front of you, extend them, and try to keep your head above your foot and your lower leg in a vertical line, so you're not going too far with your knee. Bring your shoulders as far front as you can, close to your ears, and then come up enough so you can extend that front leg. So it can be a low position still and then extension, or you can come straight up here and then extend and then go back as much as you can, as long as you get the hamstring going. Keep this for a while. And let's go back to the lunge again. So arms extending. Gotta keep your hips square, so everything is aligned nicely. And then the hamstring again. And for the coming 20 seconds, keep switching back and forth between these two. So it's really up to you, but it's a higher pace. So you kind of like go lunge, extension, lunge, extension. Just getting the motorics, get the knee oiled. There, okay, and turn to the other side. So again, got wide stance and then lowering your position until you get that stretch. Looks nice, that blue behind you, Leaf.
Nice to see.
That looks really good.
Good.
I'm gonna play tennis later on outside, so hopefully it will stay like that.
Nice.
Okay, lean forward and extend your arms and bring your shoulders close to your ears and really make that effort to, as if somebody grabs your hands and tries to pull you forward. So your arms are going forward and your lower body is kind of holding you steady. So you keep your weight more on your heels than on your toes. And then come back until you can extend that front leg and lower your upper body until you feel a hamstring stretch. Back to lunge, extension with arms, nice and long. And hamstring. And again, 20 seconds on your own pace between these two. Extend and hamstring, lunge. Sorry, lunge, extension. Lunge, extension. And come slowly up. Shake it off a little bit. And again, a little bit less wide stance. Straight position this time, facing me, and then going into a mild squat, wide squat, and then start shifting weight and extending one leg at a time. Getting that inner thigh stretch as well. And bit by bit, start going faster. Also, this is more of the getting the knees used to the bending and lunging and just getting the joints oiled. Left and right, left and right. Good. Okay, let's come up and grab your right ankle with one or two hands and bring it close to your bum. Doesn't really go anywhere else, to be honest. You can say close to your armpit. I don't think that's possible. And keep your knees close to one another and bring your hip forward. Try to get that extension there. So again, hip flexor as well, a little bit the quads. And shake it off. Switch the leg. Knees close to one another. And hip forward. Same time when you pull your leg up or your foot. There. Okay. Okay, outer hip. So now the foot goes over the opposite knee. Lower your position. Stretch the outer hip. And shake and switch. Okay, good. Then grab your racket, start rotating the upper body a little bit. So first, from side to side, extend your arms, makes it easier to get that extension also, kind of like all the way to your tricep. So one way, the other. And try to combine it with your breathing. Always easy with that stretch to breathe out. And then let's start going into circle around your head, above your head. So your arms are definitely doing big work here, your shoulders. Make sure they're extended, your arms, and then little movement with the upper body as well. Leaning forward, going backwards. And then switch. And bring your racket in front of you. And let's go 1, 2, 1, 2. Look over your shoulder behind you when you twist. Right, and then little bit of shoulder rotation, the last bit. Arms nice and loose. And then switch direction. And then switch your arm. First one way. And then the other. Okay. Okay, a little bit warm up still, continuing with the swinging like so many times before. The basic idea is that when you bring your arm up, that's when you're kind of forced to use your shoulder muscles, your neck a little bit, your upper body. So when bring up the backswing, that's when the muscles are active. But when coming down, you really try to deactivate them. It's very loose, it's like paralyzed. And it just goes with the gravity through some very, very loose movement. And you don't really have to worry about that acceleration yet. It's just to get that motion going, that U form from one side to another, and really hold the racket almost so loose that it drops off or flies off your hand. Really try to make it as relaxed as possible. Even your wrist can be a little bit looser than normal. At this point, it's okay. And remember that the elbow leads when you come down, elbow, butt of the racket, and then at the end, the head of the racket. So you always get that good form. All right, so let's do the same relaxed swing, but now we do it with a step on each side. So the forehand goes, so the traditional leg, so if you're right-handed, left foot forward, coming back, backhand, right foot forward, and switch. On your own pace, we're gonna go just for 1 minute to get that nice light footwork in there on your toes, and then the heel hits the ground just before you start coming down with your downswing. Really loose grip, hardly holding the racket. You let the gravity and the head of the weight of the racket do all the work. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to add a little bit more, let's say, efficient game-like dynamics in there. So it's a little bit more active in the grip, holding the racket more firmly, a bit more muscle tension, still try to be relaxed. And what we're going to do is now we're going to keep going on the forehand side, and we alternate between the traditional foot and then the so-called wrong foot. So you're going to go in, step in traditional, come back, and then go in with the wrong one. So left foot and right foot. Okay, 1 minute and go. And try to keep the swing as similar as possible. So there's easier upper body rotation with the traditional stance, and it's a little bit more difficult to rotate your upper body as much when you have the wrong foot taking the last step. But try to make that movement very similar in the shoulder rotation. And also at the end of the shot, try to keep your shoulder line parallel with the line of the shot. So when you play a rail, your shoulder line is nice and straight, so the ball will not come through the middle when you hit it, whether it's the wrong foot or the right foot. Or you can say left foot and right foot. Good. Okay, so let's continue with this and now add up pace. So you're going to do the same one. You alternate left foot, right foot. So Abraham, you're lefty, but it's obviously the same. for you. So it doesn't matter which wood you start as long as you alternate. But add a little bit more speed, especially this is something we talked about and did a little bit on Monday, is that when I want you to add speed, it's not necessarily the speed that what happens at the ball. It's everything else. So when you're here hitting the ball, you're still taking your time, balancing yourself, not being hasty and super fast with the swing, but you're very accurate, you're very composed. And then after that, you're very quick off and then coming quick back. So the movement off the ball and to the ball is quicker, but the shot itself is still the same. And that's kind of difficult to combine. And that's kind of the part that makes us hit a lot of loose shots. We move quick, and then we kind of like add that hasty shot, a lot of body motion into it as well. So try to be very accurate in dividing those two. Quick movement, and then good, accurate, balanced, composed shot. All right, we're gonna go 90 seconds, faster pace with this. So alternation, ready, and go. Looking good, guys. Make sure that that backswing is early up before you start lunging. Good point also is that when you talk about balance, that your eyes have a very clear target point. It's more difficult when there's no ball, but try to imagine that point, that your eyes are targeting to something. It gives you better balance. Keep going, fast pace. Nice and controlled. And break. Good job. Have a sip of water, and then we move to the backhand to do the same. Are you okay keeping the line, the audio line open? Mm-hmm. It's not disturbing. Okay? All right. Let me know if it's too much distraction or whatever, then I will mute it. But I thought it's smaller group. It's always handy if you can have like a quicker feedback if there are questions or anything like that. And at least if nothing else, I always take tremendous pleasure when I hear you guys grunting in the background. Ah, that's always makes me feel good. Exactly. Okay, so the backhand, nothing different. So going with traditional hitting the ball, lower pace the first minute, so take your time. And just what you work on here is to backhand the wrong foot is less common as the forehand, the forehand wrong foot. And the reason therefore is that the forehand wrong foot gives you direct reach, and it's pretty balanced. It's a very, let's say, logical looking movement. When you do that on the backhand side, it's a little bit different. So you get that rotation. So it doesn't really always give you, especially not that balance, also not that reach all the time. So it's something that what I want you to focus on, instead of try to whack the heck out of the ball, which we don't even have now, is more that the rotation you're working on with the traditional foot, you try to create that same position with the upper body. So really work on this before the foot comes in. So you get really nice space for the shot. So sometimes I see you guys like leave, if you go, I know you like to go with the left foot on your backhand, but it often gives you very limited swing space and limited shots. So for you also really work on getting that racket shoulder forward with that left foot. So you get that core area to work for your shot to get more power. Okay, so 1 minute, let's go. Medium pace, nice technique, similar swing on both feet. Looks good. Yeah, that's good. Very nice, Abraham. Make sure you start with the shoulder rotation before the step. That's really the backhand thing. You want to get that rotation in the upper body. It also creates way easier good balance when the upper body is early with the rotation. Whichever leg you use, it's easier to swing with a good timing and balance when you are early with that prep. Good, okay. So now we're gonna test it. And this is something that I do feel like is very, in this testing wise, like looking into match situations, that if you use that wrong foot on the backhand side, now when we go quicker, you realize, you might realize, let's put it this way, I'm not sure. You might realize that there will be a bigger difference when going with the traditional, so more rotation, and then when you go fast, all of a sudden you end up going like this. So you use your arm instead of your upper body. So you have to be in a quicker situation, you have to be very early in order to get that body weight and rotation working for the shot. Okay, so 90 seconds, faster pace, go. So a lot of core here, work with your midsection. It's not that much legs. Really try to drop that racket arm shoulder to lead the way wherever the ball is. And again, I emphasize that have a spot that you look at, because it really gives you a better and more accurate approach when you see that there's a ball that you hit. Rotate, rotate. Straight, when you start moving forward, upper body rotates right away. Make it early. 30 seconds to go. Keep that pace up. Come on. Last 10 seconds. And time. Good. So for myself, obviously, some of these things are also a little bit new for me because I'm used to doing things like everybody else with the ball and with the partner. And now I also have to figure out like, okay, where's the ball? And the more I'm focused on, hey, I see a ball there. It could be a little crack in the floor. So I focus on that area. It automatically puts me into better balanced position. How about you guys? Do you feel any difference there?
Yeah.
Just having that, let's say, visual target makes it easier.
Yeah,
Okay,
visualizing,
so
visualizing a shot.
Yeah, sorry. What's that?
Just visualizing it helps.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Meredith has joined us.
Hi, Meredith.
Good afternoon, although
Hi, Meredith.
we don't see anything, but she's there. I know she's there.
I am here. But usually I have
okay.
usually I have the sound off along with the video.
I know we broke the rules about the sound today, so
I
So there
wondered
is
why. I wondered why suddenly I was seeing pictures of other people besides you.
yeah, yeah, it's a voice, how do you call
Right,
it? Detector. Yeah.
right.
So yeah, I just thought like, well, I mean, it's never really big crowd, but I thought like if the voice, if you can hear me okay and it doesn't bother you too much to hear each other grunting and groaning, what is the word? Groaning, whatever, in the background. Then I thought we just keep it open and we can talk and communicate about whatever we are doing. So please, if you have questions, Meredith as well, ask about the exercises. So now we did the forehand and the backhand in front of us. Now we're going to add the rotation into the back corners, the movement. And this depends a little bit how much space you have, obviously. So if you're really limited, like I told you last times, move on a straight line into the back. So you can keep one straight line. You don't need that much wide space in your living room. If you do have the space, make it a bigger V. So like leave your outside. So please go all the way into the corners to hit that backhand shot. And now we're going to emphasize the rotation again in the upper body in order to get that position next to the ball. So if you're a little bit late, even if you want to rotate, but you're a little bit late, you end up having limited options and limited technique. So the earlier you're there, with also a bit more distance, it's way more easy to go around and hit that straight shot or even cross court. So you have all these options here. But if I don't rotate on the backhand side early, I end up having a wrist flick or a boast. Also, if I go really early in the corner itself. So we're going to do both corners medium pace for 2 minutes. It's a longer set. So shuffling, winding up, hitting a rail. So you're nice and square. Coming back, same on the forehand, which is a little bit easier because the racket is kind of like more comfortably behind the ball anyway. On the forehand side, I would like to see you use the traditional foot first. So both sides. So when you go backhand, traditional position, and forehand, traditional. So rails on both sides. Medium pace, 2 minutes. Go. And again here, when you're about to swing, make sure you have a good weight shifting towards the ball. So you use your upper body weight there a lot. And also what is important with that is that your upper body goes low, so your racket is lower. And this obviously allows you to get the ball higher on the front wall. And that itself is important to create time. So this is the issue that people come weekly to me with, saying like, I don't get the ball off the back corners. And the issue mostly is being crowded, being a bit high with the racket and not getting under the ball. So you have to have that preparation early, having distance, stepping lower, dropping lower, and then coming back. Make sure even if your swing is slower or slower, make it full swing. So try to follow the ball with your follow through. Okay, we got 1 more minute. Spin. See how you guys are doing. Nice. Yeah, at the end of the follow through can also bring you back to the middle. That's often what we do with that motion, so it works well, as long as you don't come up too early. Okay, last 15 seconds, keep your upper body very low when you hit that shot. Come on, keep it low, lift the ball up, so you bend over. And time. Good. Okay, So let's add a little bit of physicality. Have a sip of water again before we move to next one. Okay, so we're going to start with the, how do you call it when you tapping? Is it tapping? I guess it's tapping. So quick footwork, not lifting your feet up, tapping. Okay, that's your T point. So when you come back to the T, you tap, and when I say left, play a rail, come to tapping, okay? If I say right, obviously go to the right. All right, we're gonna go 1 minute first. And tap. Tap, 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 tap. So your feet are going like this. Left. Tap, 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 tap. Right. Left. Right. Right. Left. Left. Right. Left. Right. And time. Okay, shake your legs a little bit. I saw Leave had some internet issues.
My story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, so now we're gonna do the other one that I just showed. Now it's gonna be knees up, left, knees up, right. Okay, 1 minute, go. Knees up, keep your racket in your hand, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, and time. Let me correct this one a little bit. There we go. Weird angle. Okay, next one, toe jumps, T-point. So you bring your racket horizontally to your toes and keep jumping until I give you the corner, okay? 1 minute, ready, go. Left. Left. Right. Right. left, right, right, right. Fine. Good job. Put the racket on the side. Get a sip of water. We're warming up. Okay. Make sure you have your towel close to you. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to mute you because you guys are going to be so making painful noises. So let's see. Okie dokie. Everybody's nice and quiet. And unfortunately, you have to keep listening to my heavy breathing. My excuses for that. All right, we're going to go down on the floor and going to start with some slow motion push-ups. And as we know, so the idea, one of the ideas is isolation of the muscle group. So we're not going too much with the pec, we go more for the triceps, and that we do by getting our hands, arms closer to the body. If that's too heavy, obviously you don't have to go all the way down. So if you really find it too heavy to go down here, why don't you go halfway? Just go, okay, this is enough resistance, slowly back. This is fine, this already feels, I feel this already. So you don't have to necessarily go all the way down. But we're not going fast. So that's one of the things we try to keep it nice and painful as long as we can. Okay, so get ready. Knees on the ground, feet, cross your feet, lift them up. Get your fingers spread out and go. Nice and slow. And if you want to tease yourself, stay down for 2-3 seconds. Ooh, that makes it nice and static to come up. Ooh, harder. Just like any other weightlifting, if you have a bench press and you stop at your chest and then go back, ooh, it feels like it's twice as heavy all of a sudden. So same thing here. Keep going slowly. And we're done. Okay, stay down on your knees. We're gonna go into the reptile. So it's a straight arm plank. Everybody knows what we're doing. So get ready, planking position. Keep your hands quite close to one another and go. Knee to elbow on each side. Fifteen seconds. And come up. We're gonna go to a skating jump in the tunnel, so upper body stays horizontal. Keep your arms low. Try to touch the landing foot with the opposite hand. 1 minute. Keep it low and dynamic. The lower you stay, the more composure, the heavier it is. So try not to lift your head too much up while you do this. We got 15 seconds. And from lateral, we go to vertical. So deep squat jump, hands or palms on the ground, and jump. Thirty seconds. And whew, nice burn in the bum. Knees up. Keep going, come on. Almost there. Come on, guys, come on. Whew. And on your back, floor, elbow to knee. 1 minute. Fifteen seconds. Keep going. You're almost there. I keep saying that. Come up. Lunge forward with right, lunge forward with left, touching the floor in front of you, half the each, then the toe jump, then the push up. Okay. Lunge, lunge, toes, push up or plank, whatever you prefer, as long as we keep going. Almost there. I think I said that already twice. It must be close. Time. Whew. All right, little break. Grab your water. Good job. Catch your breath if necessary. Oh, that's good. We're almost there. Like I said. Okay. You look so fit. We're going to go a little bit further. All right. Grab your racket. Okay. So now we're going to go forward. So we're going to be doing first knees up. So take T-point position, knees up. I'd say right. You go into the right corner. It can be straight if you don't have space. So you go with your forehand, with your, whatever you have on the right. Obviously, Abraham, right side is your backhand. So when I say right, you go to the right, play a shot, back to knees up. Left, you go lunge left, knees up. Okay, ready? And go. Left. Right. Left. Left. Remember the early prep, upper body. Right. Left. Right. Volley. Left. Right. Left. Okay, stop. So next one is going to be with toe jumps. So T-point, racket flat on the toes. That's your T-point. When I said, what should I say? I just say left and right again, but now you don't move to the ball with multiple steps. You make a long lunge. And be careful inside. Make sure you don't, if you don't have shoes, be careful with the lunge. Anyway, if you have the grip, make a really stressed lunge, really emergency lunge, and then lift the lob. Back to toes, left, lob, and back, okay? So toe jumps, go. Left, lob, back to T. Left, back to T. Right, lunge and back. Left, back to the T. Be quick with the back, steps backwards. Right. When you lunge, one side left leg, one side right. Right. Back to the T. Keep jumping. Right. left, left, right. Okay, we've got 2 more coming. Left. Right. And stop. A little break here. Put the racket away again. Sip of water. All right. You look strong, guys. Man, I feel like I'm killing myself here. You look like at ease. It might be that there's a certain no sweat filter that you're using. So you make me fresh filter, because you look like you still need to go for at least 2 hours. Okay, back on the ground, on the back, some abs. And this time we're gonna throw the legs. So the first 45 seconds, we throw them straight down. And then when the 45 seconds is done, we start to go side to side. So you need to have your arms down. And if it's too heavy, just do it a little bit, or bend your knees. If you do this, it's way less heavy. So the more straight your legs are, the more weight you have to lift back up. Okay, that all makes sense. Get ready on the floor, knees, arms, not arms, legs straight up, and throw them down. Go. When you're doing this, try to feel that your lower back is connected with the floor, or whatever ground you have. So the lower back is nice, and so it doesn't arch too much. Show me those feet. Show me those feet. Hovering just above the ground. Come on, guys. We are on the good side here. Okay, we go to side to side. And depending on your flexibility and strength, you go as slow as you feel a little bit uncomfortable with. You shouldn't feel comfortable at any point, because there's no point. We are beyond the comfortable exercises at this point. So use widespread arms to counterbalance your body. We got 15 seconds with this. Hey. Keep going. Keep going. You look strong, although I don't see anything, but I know you're strong. Okay, 5 last moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last one. Yeah. Ooh. We did it. Nice job. I feel like I have to bring it on more and more every week.